Kenneth, do you have a quick update for us? He promised me 25 seconds or less. No, I'm just kidding. So, I just want to give everybody a heads up. Sarah Johndal is going to give us an update on a grant that she and her team have been working on as soon as Mr. Duval gets done.
Okay. East 22nd Drainage Project is all that is needed to be done to be finished is milling 22nd Street and repaving, and that's scheduled for this Thursday, weather permitting. Schoolhouse Trail, all bridge ends are formed. The bridges are expected to be here at the end of March. All the base stone has been installed. Eastdale sidewalks completed. Brookside Drainage Project, the official first day to start was today. Our South Knoxville job, February the 23rd, we will be taking bids for that. That's all I have.
And as the mayor did give you a heads up, I'm here to just talk about a RAISE grant that planning and development, city engineer, we have a good team that's kind of formed to help put this grant together. We've been working on it for about 6 weeks, and we have 3 weeks until the deadline for the application. It is a $25 million grant opportunity that does not require a match from us because of the size of the community that we are. It's a federal grant opportunity, and they do like to fund trail systems. Conway was awarded one last year. So we're looking at just shy of 13 miles of trails. We're going to connect all the way to Gum Street in the north. We're proposing a pedestrian crossing over Interstate 40, connecting all the way down to Lock and Dam. We're going to go from the junior high on the west all the way over to Hobby Lobby, PetSmart, Shopping Center on the east. So this map that you have in front of you is the proposal of the map, and the dark purple lines are the new trails that we are proposing with this. We are working on a citizen advisory committee to help us get the word out, work with us to get letters of support, and then we're also doing an amenities survey. And the reason I wanted to talk to you tonight is because I would ask that if you see that amenities survey, we'll be posting on social media, we'll be emailing it out. If you would please take the survey yourself to first tell us what amenities you want to see on the trail system, but then also share it with friends, coworkers, citizens. We need input to show that we're trying to get input from the community and have the support of the community as we move forward with this.
Quickly, work's continuing on El Paso for us. Right now we're working on sewer. We've gotten a substantial amount of the water in. We're over probably 35-40% of the water has been put in. Sewer is going slowly. We have some more items to work on. We're going to work on El Paso, then we'll be in some alleyways both behind, between being C Street, behind where the Legends office is, and then we'll be probably in about a week and a half, we'll be behind the courthouse. Those lines have, the sewer there has a lot of service lines. We've detected a number of, several more service lines on that sewer than we actually know that are buildings, so we're going to have to work with citizens to work all the indoor plumbing to see what drains so we don't block anybody off. But part of that is dealing with old lines, and part of the reason we're doing the project. Permits are a big thing for us right now. We're getting ready to put in for a bunch of them for Highway 64 and Highway 7, Main Street in Arkansas. The way that works is the city will put in for the duct run and the signals. City Corp will put in permits for the water and sewer. Those have, and then actually all the utilities that end up crossing in the conduit underneath the road will end up having to get a permit as well too. So there's a lot of process that we need to get done here in the next, hopefully the next couple of weeks. Right now, permits are taking 6 to 12 weeks at the highway department to get approved. So we want to get those in so we can stay on schedule and be able to get the rest of our contractors out in the field. Railroad permit is still a bugaboo. We're still waiting for engineers to finish a settlement analysis and geotechnical studies so we can get that turned into the railroad so we can move forward with approval. We cannot do about half of our sewer project until we get that approved. So that's kind of a TBD, and hopefully We'll get the engineer's report here in the next week or so, and then move along with that. So that is, and then the other is we're working through easements along the duck run, and we've had really positive reaction from that, and looks like we'll probably get that buttoned up in the next, hopefully, month or so.
Okay, so let's, unfinished old business, second of three readings on consideration ordinance adopting the revised city animal control code. And then also item 1A is consideration ordinance repealing ordinance number 1918. This is going to be for the second of three readings. We going to have anybody want to discuss anything here tonight, or?
What do you have in
Well, I mean,
mind?
I'm wanting to continue, I'm wanting to move forward with the second reading. You know, I want to keep the process going. I don't see why just having, because we're not voting on anything, I don't see why moving that process to, you know, through the second and then on to the third next month, where we can make a decision one way or the other. I mean, I would still say reading them both would give the council the option to go, you know, one way, the other, or neither. So I would be in favor of continuing to, you know, to keep all our options on the table. But obviously, if the council decides they want to eliminate one of those or both of those options, then, you know, that's something that can happen.
I would move that we get rid of item 1, even though I know you've worked on it for a really long time. After speaking to people that are involved in it and just doing some research on it, I think just a straight repeal is where we should focus it, so that they can use their resources in other productive ways.
I move that we remove item number 1 from the agenda. Leaving 1A, I move that we remove item number 1.
I have a motion and a second.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say, as the sponsor of one, I go ahead and remove it.
Do I? Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead and remove it.
So I,
But we appreciate your work.
moving on to new business. It is a consideration of an ordinance establishing certain aesthetic corridors in the downtown area of Russellville, Arkansas, prohibiting the installation of above-ground utility lines, telecommunication lines, and supporting poles along such corridors, providing for emergency temporary installations, declaring an emergency, or for other purposes, and this is sponsored by Public Works. Glenn, you want to give us a quick rundown on that?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the introduction. As Mr. Westcott's thinking, there's no paperwork in his packet at this point. He is correct. However, this is different than finance, and my understanding, we do have a little bit of time. I've been in correspondence and discussion with the utility attorney that we've got working with us on this corridor. As you're aware, we have the DIG project going downtown, where we're putting the infrastructure below grade for the aesthetics of downtown, beautification, streetscaping, and such. What this ordinance would do is prohibit new installation of poles above ground in the same corridor area, and say that we're protecting the investment we're putting down now. So that's what this this ordinance would be establishing.
All right. Item 2 is consideration of an ordinance establishing entertainment district within the city of Russellville, establishing the standard for the entertainment district, and for other purposes. Sponsored by Nathan George. Where are we at on this?
But amazingly written by Trey Smith. Basically, he got every one of our concerns involved in this whole ordeal.
Sunday through Saturday, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to midnight, that the entertainment district will be available for consumption at that time.
All right. Is everybody good with item 2 going forward? All right. I'll adjourn this meeting, and then I will call to order the special called meeting for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. City Clerk Skelton will do roll call.
Mr. George.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Ms. Young.
Here.
Mr. Olson. Mr. Bradley.
Here.
Mr. Westcott.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray.
Here.
Mr. Keller.
Here.
Mayor Teague.
Here.
Mr. Smith. Myself. We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, so we have special business here. Item 1 and 1A is an appropriation appropriated from the 2022 carryover balance, sum of $163,167.79 to be used for the following purposes. This is the change order for our Clarity Pools on the project to renovate Hickey Park that we just came through, approved through the Finance Committee. And then the consideration, 1A is consideration for resolution for the mayor and city clerk treasurer to approve the change order from Clarity Pools on the project to renovate the Hickey Pool Park.
Mayor, this having come through the Finance Committee with the recommendation of approval, I present this as a motion, items 1 and 1A, as a motion to adopt.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Quickest city council meeting ever, right there.